Indiana once held the largest wetlands within the United States, which was the Kankakee Marsh. The Pocahontas Band of the Potawatomi and other tribes relied on it for sustenance, trade, and spiritual practices. The French referred to it as the Everglades of the North. The Swampland Act of 1850 encouraged draining for farming, destroying most of the marsh by 1920s, although in some areas, like Kankakee Sands, they are being restored. However, during that time, perceived use of swamplands were turned into productive farmland, fundamentally reshaping American landscapes and economies. From damming and channel modifications or hydro modifications to changes in policy, this affects proximity and subsistence within any given environment, especially when we're considering things like watershed management. And in watershed management, there's little examination of how participatory processes actually function, how community input is interpreted, filtered, or constrained, and whether participation meaningfully influences decisions, especially considering watershed professionals as relational actors operating within fragmented governance structures, institutional constraints, and competing epistemologies. I work on understanding how land and water management is practiced as a lived relational process, particularly under conditions of hydrologic alteration and land use change. This relation I refer to is reciprocity. It has a range in concept and practice. It's a system that encompasses the actions, interactions, and experiences directly and indirectly of humans and non-humans. It is a praxis that is not only essential for collective action, but embedded in intergenerational transmissions of knowledge production that have proliferated more adaptive management of resources, relationships, and culture. It's embedded in and manifested through stewardship practice. And it's not just so reciprocity is not just about scratching one another's back. While that can feel good, but being proactive and understanding the time and effort that something else might need may not be your own, and you could treat it as your own and just understand the advantages of that, or what's it look like to play with concepts of time. Even, for example, we have the opportunity to shift our attention from watersheds as purely biophysical systems to watersheds as socially produced and governed systems that professionals actively shape, and you can say that they're living beings in that sense. Political ecology is emphasizing that watershed management is not just about hydrology or ecology, but power, values, and decision making. Watershed governance is shaped by discourse, knowledge, identity, and power, and therefore watershed professionals are central in constructing and mediating these. And we get to see when we look at that lens that there's power in relations of the community and stakeholder. All of the U.S. programming that is around critical and emerging technology areas such as defense, aerospace, energy. They're relying on land and water not just for competency, but for that which we know.